And good morning. It is Monday and welcome. I hope you're well. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit. There we go, just so we can, there we go, it's a little bit better. Okay, so, hey guys, I hope you're well. Welcome to Monday morning. It is 9 o'clock Spanish time, 8 a.m. UK time, and at this time, a lot of people are sat in the cars and they're driving into work, they're listening to the radio, and they're getting ready to repeat what they did last Monday for the entire week yet again, just as they did the week before, and the week before, and the week before. And the month before, and the year before, and nothing ever changes. It's just all the same, working this rat race, going around the wheel, trying to earn enough money, spending it because you work hard, you play hard, so that means you're getting pissed on Friday and Saturday night, and you just earn your money and you just spend your money. Good morning, Steve. Hope you're well this morning. Thanks for joining. So this is the rat race that we find ourselves on, and we're just in this eternal wheel of waking up, going to work on a Monday, putting in the hours, getting home on a Friday, maybe having a few beers over the weekend, doing the family thing, and then you're back sort of Monday, Friday, back into work effectively. And it's like, it's just Groundhog Week, you know, it's just the same week over and over and over again. And I can't remember who said it, but they said something like, the average person who they live like 80 years, but they actually just live the same year 80 times. And it's not the same at all, you know. We're put on this planet to go out and experience what the planet has to offer. And you can't do that if you're stuck in a 9 to 5. Okay, so what I wanted to do in this session today was I just wanted to go through how we can plan our week a little bit better so that we can actually fit more into our week and get more out of it. Now, you can call it time management if you want, but that's not specifically what we're doing today, so let's not call it that. But the arguments that I hear from a lot of people is two arguments. The first one is, if I plan all my time, I spend all my time planning and not doing. And that's what a lot of poor people say. In fact, that's what all the poor people I've ever met say. The wealthy people who are implementing time management, they don't say that. They say, I get more done now than I've ever got done before, right? So there's a difference in the mindset, and the difference in mindset will give you the difference in your results. So you either got a positive mindset and you're going to put in the time management and get the positive result, or you're going to go, oh no, I can't do time management because it just feels like I'm just doing time management all the time without actually doing the work, and therefore you're not going to get the results. Okay, so it's not like it's a matter of opinion. It's not like it's like gravity isn't a matter of opinion, you know. If you get people who don't like science and people who do like science, they can't go, well, I don't think gravity exists really, because there we go, we know it does, right? What goes up must come down. So it's not like it's an opinion, it's a fact, okay? So you either plan your week, your month, your year, your life, and you get those results because you're planning, or you don't. It's really as black and white and as simple as that. It's not opinion, it's fact. And if you disagree with that, that's okay, you're entitled to disagree with facts, but you're wrong, so there you go. So, you either love Star Wars or you're wrong, right? So, the second reason why people sort of push against this is that they say, oh, no, but you don't understand, Dan, I like to be spontaneous. And I go, okay, what does spontaneity mean for you? And they go, well, I just want to decide I want to do something whenever I want to do it. And they go, okay, so like what? Give me an example. Well, I might just get up and go do something. Okay, like when? When did you just get up and go do something? It happens very, very rarely. Okay, so like if you want to be spontaneous in your week, how about we book it in between 8 and 10 on a Wednesday night, and you be spontaneous in those 2 hours, okay? Because if you want to get successful, you trust me, when you got more money and when you got more time freedom, you can be a lot more spontaneous. The problem is, you're getting in your car and you're going to work Monday, Friday, you've got the weekends when you've got the kids and everything else that goes into that, and you've got birthday parties that you have to go to, and you can't be spontaneous because your time is taken up for you. So you've got to plan the time to be spontaneous. And because spontaneity happens so rarely, like when was the last time you just got up and went surfing? Like, it just doesn't happen, right? When was the last time you got up and went paddle surfing, or went for a bike ride, or you might go out for a drive, and after 20 minutes, you jump in a Porsche and you go for a drive, and after 20 minutes, yeah, I'll go home now. Good morning, Abby, thanks for joining. So there's no such thing as spontaneity, right? So how about instead of going, oh, well, I want to be spontaneous, and so I'm not going to time manage. How about we time manage, okay, and you actually time manage going surfing or paddle surfing or learning to play table tennis or pottery or learning to salsa dance or whatever exciting things that you enjoy, going to see a live concert, for example. Like, that's pretty cool. We're very spontaneous when it comes to seeing live concerts, and when we're back in the UK, we're always booking in a concert or two. And in fact, here in July, just where we live in this little town, we've got the Killers are playing, which is pretty cool, as you do, right? So we're very spontaneous. We're going to book that in and go watch that. That's as spontaneous as it gets. But you know, if we didn't book that in, we couldn't then just go, oh, I know, let's go, oh, they're playing tonight, let's book a ticket and go, because all the tickets have gone, okay? So you've got to start planning. Now, we've just planned Christmas, right? We're in June still, June the 12th or the 11th, and we've just planned Christmas. We booked all the flights, we booked our accommodation, we booked the car hire. It came to about £2,000, because our holidays these days are topsy-turvy. We don't go to exotic places, we go to West Yorkshire. We spent £2,000 to do it, because our house is will be rented by the time we get there. But we just booked all that in. Now, if we don't book it in 6 or 7 months in advance, one, the prices get really expensive on car hire, flights and accommodation. Two, the accommodation no longer exists because other people have booked it. So you've got to start booking stuff in. And the more that you start booking things in, the better results you're going to start getting in life. But in this session, I just want to cover what are you going to book in. So, like, we're talking about the week, okay? Specifically, a week is Monday to Sunday, in case any of you weren't sure about that. So, Monday, what are you going to do today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Let's just break down a week, okay? Because what generally happens is, so today's Sunday, let's put this in red. Today's Sunday. So we're here. This is where we are, right here. And generally what happens is when people on a Sunday night, just here, they're never going to work, or they've never got their self-employed business, or they've never got the week ahead, okay? The Sunday night, there's no planning done whatsoever. Instead, they do the planning on Monday morning. When you're doing your planning on Monday morning, all you're looking about, think about what have you got to do this week? And what you're thinking about is what's all the urgent stuff that's got to get done. You're not thinking about, by the time I get to Sunday, what would I like to accomplish? Accomplish is what that says. You're not thinking about what would I like to have accomplished this week. So how about we turn it around? I think it was Jim Rohn, he said, before you start your day, finish it. Before you start your week, finish it. And what it means is you finish it first before you start it. And you finish it on a sheet of paper, or in our case on a whiteboard. What do you want to have achieved this week? Nobody starts off on a Monday morning doing that. They're just thinking, okay, who's shouting the loudest that I actually need to sort out? What's the biggest problem I've got going on in my life right now that I need to sort out that's urgent? And you hit the week and you go in and you start sorting out that one problem, and then you've got all these other things that are going on that you've not even thought about. But actually, if you sorted those out, you might have sorted this initial problem in the first place. And if you think about that for the following week and the following week and the following week, actually you spend a lot of your time firefighting. And if we can get you away from firefighting, it frees up an awful lot of time to start planning and start doing the things that are going to give you the biggest difference in your life. Okay, so you can't wait until Monday morning to start doing that planning. You've got to do your planning Sunday night. That's when you should be doing your planning. And I'll tell you, actually better than do it on a Sunday night is actually doing it on the Friday. So the Friday just gone, today's Monday, we should have been planning Friday night 6 p.m. for the week ahead. That is the time when you plan it. And I'll show you why that is. And we'll do it in green. Okay, these are mountains. Okay, so what happens is, this right here is your Friday night. On your Friday night, you do what's called a Friday night review. This is your week, Monday, and you're going through the week, Monday through Friday. When you get to Friday night, 6 o'clock, you can look at what's been going on in the previous week, okay? Now that you're at the top of the peak, you can also see, and this, by the way, is your vision for the following, so this is Monday and this is Sunday. This is your vision for what's going on. the following week. So you stood on top of this mountain, it's Friday night, and you're able to look down at, okay, now that you're on top and you're looking down, there's an obstacle here, there's an obstacle here, there's an obstacle here. You already know what the obstacles are, and you can plan around these obstacles. And then when you get to the actual Monday, so this is right here, this is the vision. This is not your actual week. This is simply a vision of what you want your week to look like. And then when you get here, Monday to Friday, now you're starting to plan and you're implementing that plan on week 2. So this is week 1 and this is week 2. Week 1, week 2. Does that make sense? So let me just redraw that because I've got a better way of redrawing it for you. Make it a bit more clearer. So if you're listening to a podcast, imagine there's 2 peaks. On the first peak, on the first slope, is Monday, because you're starting the week at the bottom and you end up on a Friday, okay? And then actually this is better. So if this is Monday of the next week, Monday and Friday, okay, this is week 1 and this is week 2, you can see what you need to plan for the following week. Does that make sense? That's drawn better. And if you can't visualise this on a podcast, you need to come watch the video, by the way. Join us in the Wealth Creation Club group. Okay, so the Friday night is where you get to look at what are you supposed to plan for next week. And then when you know what it is that you're supposed to be planning, that's when you actually plug it into this space here. Okay, let's clear this board a little bit, and then let's start planning our week. So, what are the things that you actually want to get done this week? I've lost my pen lid. Oh, put it on a different pen. Okay, so let's just write a list of a couple of things. So let's say 3 workouts. Let's say 5 videos. And podcasts, because by creating a video you should have a podcast automatically. That's what we do. What else? Let's say 10 lead gen calls, 10 customer calls, 10 sales calls, whatever you want to call them. Like, these are random, right? I'm just making these up. These can be whatever you want these to be. Let's say 1 kid's party. If you've got kids, we had a barbecue yesterday with a paella. Just amazing barbecue. We do love living in Spain. So 1 kid's party. What else have you got? Like, there's always lots of stuff in here. And maybe it's all your admin, all your paperwork. But don't forget, you see, there's only 4 things you should be doing in your business, okay? A, C, D, C. Attraction, conversion, delivery, and accountability. Accountability. I know it should have an A, but we start it with a C. So there's only 4 things you should be doing in your business, okay? And it's ACDC. Attraction, conversion, delivery, and accountability. So, just because I like the ACDC thing, that's why we do it. Anyway, so, like, when you're thinking about what are you going to go through, and obviously there's life stuff in there, because we've got, like, working out and food and kids' parties and so on. But you should be planning this into here. So let me give you an example. So after I finish up on this, we're going to go on YouTube Live, actually, as it happens immediately after this. But then after that, this morning section, let's just get rid of that. This morning is just about, so this is AM and this is PM. Okay. So Monday morning for me right here is actually, so we do some Facebook Lives. We always do Facebook Live, that's there. The next bit is we're going to schedule our entire week of social media. So that consists of any podcasts that need to be uploaded will get uploaded, images done, text done for that. I actually do that right now, and that takes a little bit of time, but I'm the best person to do that right now. But that's going to probably change in the next couple of weeks. So all the podcasts will get scheduled to go out. All the videos, including throwback videos and including any other videos from last week that we haven't yet uploaded, all that will go out and get scheduled for the following week as well. We'll also put out a post on all the major products and services that we do, rent to rent, how to become a number one bestseller, business coaching, property refurbs, and 2-day strategy implementation intensives. All of that gets planned into our Monday morning and gets scheduled throughout the week, so that by the time we get to midday on Monday, we've got a week's worth of content already going out, and I no longer have to worry about, have I got any content going out? You know, like last night, for example, I forgot I had content going out, and I checked Facebook, and I'm like, oh, I posted 2 minutes ago. I forgot about it. And that's because we're planned for the entire week. Now, can you be spontaneous and just go Facebook Live? Yeah, of course you can. If that's what you want to do, then that's fine. You can just do that. We might do that. We might just jump in the car, go to the beach hut, and for a granny fado. Actually, it's a really nice day today, so I think we're going to do that. There's nothing I like more than on a Monday morning is going to the beach when everyone's stuck in traffic back in England. It's one of the things I really enjoyed when I first came here. But our entire social media, or our entire content campaign is already worked out by the time we get to midday there. Normally, in the afternoon, we have content that we're creating. Remember, it's AC/DC. So we've got to think, what do we want to do? And also in the PM, any strategy sessions that we have, sales calls, that kind of thing. These are like diagnosis sessions that we do with potential clients to work out where they are, where they want to get to, and what resources that we can help plug them into that will help them on their journey to get to where they want to get to. So that's what we call a strategy session, but it's a diagnosis session effectively. Now, and all our business and everything that we plan is based around AC/DC, attraction, conversion, delivery, and accountability. Okay? Every single morning, I check into my bank account. This is the accountability aspect. I check into it, I update my spreadsheets. I then also look at keyword optimization. This is accountability, and I look at what keywords do I need to optimize this week? What videos do I need to do that will help me do that? And what podcasts and what pages and so on. All of that goes in the morning as well. So we've got our days split up, basically. So in particular, it's content creation and strategy sessions. And if we haven't got strategy sessions, then we're actually doing delivery. A strategy session is a conversion mechanism, by the way, because that's what helps us close sales. And if we're not doing that, then we're actually doing some form of delivery. And a delivery of the product or service, it could be actual live coaching sessions, although we do very, very few coaching sessions these days because we've just passed that on to other people to do, which is really cool. And it frees up an awful lot of my time to just go out and create an awful lot of content. And the more content that you can create, by the way, the more people are going to know about what you do. And one of the big things I've been learning about is that it doesn't have to be this idea of like hardcore information exchange. That's actually part of it. But what's more interesting for people is that we're just normal people just like you. We got on Facebook. We're on a Facebook chat, okay, on a post, and one guy came up and he said, "I love your podcast, by the way. They are," and if you're listening to this, thank you for that. But they are non-pretentious. I think he was saying I was common, which is fine. But non-pretentious, and I thought that was really nice. Thank you so much for that. And then we were on LA radio last week, which was really cool. And then actually we just got an email from LinkedIn this morning asking me to be on a podcast from a guy from South Carolina in Columbia. And we're like, yeah, that'd be really cool. We're always extending our reach because we can help people all around the world doing all sorts of different stuff. So that's really cool. So by putting that content out, we get more opportunity to go out and do more content, right? So that's what you should always be doing. But the key really is, what do you want to achieve this week? And what does that achievement look like in combination with your KPIs, your key performance indicators? So in one of the last Facebook Live sessions, we talked about how many website visitors do you want. So if it's let's say 100 a day, how much content do you need to put out and post in order for you to get 100 a day? So if you're getting, let's say, 5 people a day visiting a post, well, you need to have 20 posts a week. So that's 4 a day, right, Monday to Friday. So if that's what needs to happen, then that's what needs to happen. And actually, if that's too many, you need to find a way of getting more than just 5 people hitting your website. So maybe that's extending your reach, having more Facebook friends, having more LinkedIn friends. And so maybe that's part of this. Tuesday morning could be, because you want to extend the reach, because of all the content you're putting out, you need more people to see it, is, LinkedIn. Wednesday morning could be getting more Twitter followers. Thursday mornings could be Facebook. Just go and add lots of different people, like 20, 30 people every week. By the time you get to the end of the week, that's on LinkedIn, that's an extra, 20, 30 people. Twitter, Facebook, you're increasing your reach. 50 times 5 is 250. So imagine having an extra 250 eyeballs potentially looking at the content you're putting out on social media that then gets driven back to your website. You're going to start hitting these KPIs. And in fact, you're going to have to increase your KPIs. These numbers of people hitting your website, your target will have to increase because you're now getting more people. So it's just about planning this week. But it has to be planned in, what do you want to achieve here? What are these KPIs? You know, the ACDC and the C stands for accountability. What is it that you're wanting to achieve right here? And that's how you've got to be plugging it in. And then that determines what is the activity that your week is going to be. So I get a feeling this podcast, I could go on for another couple of hours about this stuff, and I'm not going to. We like to hit them around the 20-25 minute mark. But you've got to start planning your week. And when you start planning everything in, and this is what your plans look like. Start planning it in. You know, you've got your kids' party here. Start blocking out that time. Content creation every day. And I have these conversations with people, and people say, you know, well, my biggest problem is I haven't got any customers. And I say, okay, well, how much content have you created this week? And they go, no, I haven't got time for that. Well, you've got no bloody customers. What are you doing with your time if you've got no customers? Well, I'm delivering to all my old customers. So you've got no physical time to find new customers. Yeah, well, how are you going to grow your business then? The business isn't scalable in any way, shape or form. The only way, or the only thing that you can do is work harder and work more hours. How is that achievable? And that ties into those 4 levels that we talked about last week, where you've got muscular, where you're doing the work, and then you've got management, where you're managing the people doing the work, it frees up a bit of your time, and then you've got communication, so you're doing the selling, and then you employ a manager that manages the people doing the work, and then the top one is your mind and your money, which is where you're thinking about the ideas, and which then turns into sales, which then your management then helps the people actually doing the work do the work. So all that ties into that, okay? That's the only way you can grow your business, is to move up that scale. If not, you're going to end up working more hours and working faster. Like, how does that even work? Well, I just have to work harder. Like, that working harder bit, I don't understand that. You know, you're either at work and you're working, or you're not. You know, I remember going into Asda when I used to work at Dell, and I went in, I said to the guy, how many people work here then? And he went, about half of them. Which I thought was hilarious, because most people actually there aren't doing the work. But like, when you're working harder, like, what does that mean? You're like, oh, work harder. I'll write a bit faster. Shave a few milliseconds off. How does that even work? When we ran the lettings agency, we'd have a clean or a deep clean. What's a deep clean? You just scrub a little bit harder than like before. You're just like, oh yeah, that'll do. But when you do a deep clean, I don't understand that. You know, you're either at work or you're not. But the only thing you can do is work more hours. Like, I get Gary Vee's idea and his concept of hustle, hustle, hustle. I get that. But Gary Vee has people, does all his content creation or production for him. He just stands on stage, he's mic'd up, and we're just following him around with a camera, and somebody else is in charge of all of that, right? He's the communication and the mind at the top, and then he has little minions that do all the work underneath. And if you've not got those minions, then you're not going to be able to increase or scale your business at all. But if you are doing the work, then it starts off like this. It could even be that if you're moving towards management and you've got minions doing the work for you, this here is a 1 hour meeting with all your team. Like, if you think about this, like, I'm paying my guys pretty cheap money, between $3 and $5 depending on what they're doing, right? So if I'm paying them, you know, let's say I've got one on $3, one on $5, and let's say I have an hour meeting. I don't need an hour. Let's say I have half an hour meeting with them each morning. Okay, that's 2.5 hours times $8. So that's what, 16. That's $20 a week just to plan the entire week. Why would I not do that? It just makes total sense for me to do it. So everybody's on the same page. I can do some training in that half an hour, and then I can go, come on guys, let's do it, and rattle them up a little bit, Wolf of Wall Street style. So maybe not Wolf of Wall Street style. Well, why would we not do that? But we don't do it because there's a complete lack of planning in there. Okay, so you've got to start planning and start planning your team. And when your team starts planning, oh my gosh, these results actually multiply themselves. Okay, so that is how you can have a great week. You've got to start planning it, but you need to plan it this week anyway, okay? But actually, when you get to Friday, that point, you should be planning for the following week. That will do us for today. Pretty intense stuff. If you want to get more in depth with this, and you want to understand how this works and how we apply this in my business, then you need to come over to Spain for the 2 days at the strategy and implementation intensive. And we go through all this and we break down your time management, for example. We had one guy came over and he's working 60, 70 hours a week, and he left and he dropped down to 30 hours a week, even buggered off to Vietnam for 6 weeks because he translated the skills that he learned here back into his team at home. They started planning everything and his business took off. Like his business was already successful, it took off even more because he was into this planning stage. And that's the stage that you need to move your business into as well. Right, I hope that's useful for you, and we will speak to you tomorrow. All right, have a great day. Take care.